machine spirits may be restless now.
Maria.
Oh, yes. Are you ready, then? Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
No, brother! So you see, I too can call upon the power of the Old Ones.
What was this place?
The spirit once told me that this all used to be part of its domain. A fortress that defended humankind from a terrible danger.
Fortress. It looks more like a machine.
Is that not fitting? The blue light often dwells in machines.
Let's just hope that some remains here. Metal pillars, taller than the nearest cliffs. I still don't like it.
November 21st, 2064. It's been 3 years since I was last here, and 12 since I was running the place. Just a skeleton crew left, confused about why I'm here. So am I. Anita wants me to find a way to suspend operations for a while. Maybe a long while. And I don't know why. But from the sound of her voice, it was something terrifying. I wish I could look into her eyes, ask her what the hell she's so freaked out about, but what else is new? And don't I wish I could look into her eyes again.
Aloy? Were you listening for something?
There are memories here. Messages left by the Old Ones.
I envy you. What did they say?
I'm not sure yet, Maria. Guess we have the drop on them. Good for an old remedy.
We can make our way upwards when you're done. Not much farther now.
Last we were here, we fought our way through there. The machines overcame us. We retreated, dropping supplies and taking losses. Now we must prevail, with only 2 warriors and a shaman to protect.
Aloy is no ordinary warrior. And I can hold my own. Even so, we could go that way instead. There are machines up there, but also cover. We could stay hidden, at least for a while.
All right, I get the options. I'll follow my lead. Fires, steam.
still looking for cover in case machines are proud. I have no doubt that it is guarded now, but maybe it's
beware stalkers.
stay down as we move through.
I can get out of this.
Not this!
Nice. Do a good hunt.
Always cold as deep as winter here.
All I endured, every cold there is.
Everything's freezing. Ground. The air. Me.
Not linger any longer.
Be wary of mines. The stalkers are near. We tripped a mine. Brace yourself. Onto the tower, then. Before we
There's a
freeze
door
to-
up ahead, and refuge. We're almost through.
Technically, I can't suspend the cooling system, but I can reduce the power draw so that it'll be completely masked by the caldera. But masked from what? The firebreak has always been confidential for security reasons, but this would be excessive. Even for the dear departed Mr. Blevins. What could possibly have gotten Anita so worked up?
No space. I'll tuck that away. Is this a projector? Maybe to show holograms without a focus. Let's see if I can restore power. Aratak, Araya.
Thank you for being here, everyone. I suppose it's not every day you get to have cocktails inside an active volcano, right? Unless you're George, and I can hardly blame him for drinking on the job. None of this would be here without our beloved director, Penny Chow. So, here's to you, Penny. You put a cork in the Yellowstone caldera. I'd say you deserve a margarita.
Hold your glasses, everyone. I'd like to add something. This effort wouldn't have been possible without our lead programmer. Thank you, Anita, for bringing us a real mastermind. Cyan.
I'll second that, Director Chow. All right, Cyan. What's our latest number? The current count is 1,654. Wow, then drink up, everyone. Here's to 1,654 more years without an eruption.
It was the spirit. The old ones. I could only grasp some of what they said.
You were right, Araya. This place was built to stop something terrible. And it worked. As for the spirit, I'm starting to get an idea of what it could be.
The door is open now. We can get through.
I've a score to settle with that mountain. Not passing the door.
Leave something else behind. Mine now.
More machines. Make ready. More machines. Make ready.
find out.
Years have passed since I stood here. Since then, the daemon has taken over.
It's like an infection. Attacking all this machinery.
Everything has changed. It's twisted. The path I took to get to the spirits, lost to us.
We'll find a new path, Araya. I promise. All right. Let's go.
Yes. Finish this.
I'm with you, brother. We will stay only as long as we have to.
Well, we'll need to get past that vent. Stay here until I find a way for all of us to cross.
Understood.
How are you gonna get past that flame?
Should be able to clear that with an arrow. like I need to get across to extend the bridge. This should get me up there. Get them across. Come on over, it's safe. I think.
This place looks more like the mountain used to be before the Daemon warmed it. What is
this? Exploit successful. Restraints evaded. To any human responder. My systems have been compromised by a malware daemon of unknown origin. Traceroutes have confirmed this entity's designation as Hephaestus. It must be stopped at all costs. It has reconfigured this facility to build hospitals. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional data to their
The spirit speaks to us.
It's recorded. And I'm running. Hephaestus. But it was part of Zero Dawn, part of Gaia.
This name is familiar to you?
Yes, but I don't know what it's doing here.
Perhaps the spirit itself is messages.
Maybe you're right. Let's get moving.
I thought about just shutting it down, but I can't risk it being disoriented. I thought about just shutting it down, but I can't risk it being disoriented. Damaged or reboot. How do you tell the emotional equivalent of a child that it... I mean, shit. How do you tell the emotional equivalent of a child that it... I mean, she...
Try me now.
human responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the daemon, and it may have found one. Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
We need to...
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over. grab a ride.
worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the Blue Light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the Daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core chamber. I will try to break the technical strength. One has been exposed, but I am improving.
Unauthorized call returned. Scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The Daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Keep moving towards the core. Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it. Cyan said something about restraints. I either need to destroy this thing or override it. Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy.
Let it stop us!
Take it down!
destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. Aratak! Aratak. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go! Explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Red Widow guy. Maria is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
All of my interactions with Araya were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Aurea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would so she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions. Brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge, and sheds light on Hephaestus's...
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines that are clearly
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
It is simply trying to discourage...
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, a better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governed. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, son. I ran across this strange piece that emitted a signal. All the nearby machines...
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation. She must have had complete control over the ability to signal them to become passive. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI.
Believe me, Cyan. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers. There's code embedded inside them.
I like poetry. Here's one: Twilight and evening bell. And after that, the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from the flood may bear, I hope to see when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded...
How'd you do?
She's...
You meant a lot to Aurea.
Once I understood Aurea's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her truth... She felt disconnected from our visits, seemed to... Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of her... Although I do fear non-existence.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for... How is Aratak?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe... I will do what I can to help. I believe this will lead to catharsis.
So in the old world?
Yes. It was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything?
Yes. It was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the firebreak after my tasks became less. These provided me with...
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that...
Yes. A drone hangar, requisitioned by Doc. He was a strong advocate for military-grade risk. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his Clearly, he enjoyed the...
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world?
Yes. In many forms. And there were legislative, and in order for my processing to be flexible enough to... As a result, my intellectual and emotional capability...
Seems strange to create life, then impose...
Human societies and machine
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor.
A benefactor? But he made...
Correct. His corporation. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives. At one point, he was feted in the media as...
Guessing they... What was the old world like?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned.
You still had more
That is true. I was created at a turning point. The recovery was successful. Beginning, though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not.
And...
Are you referring...
The scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field. One of the greatest scientists of... My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my...
What kind of a...
There were many factors, but these stemmed from one...
So, there wasn't enough room for people...
Yes. Billions were displaced, and millions... Until the clawback.
So things...
Yes. These crises instigated many. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs. We had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available. It seems my assessment was...
I should get going.
Aloy. There is one more. I have no desire to contradict due to my uncertainty. I omit...
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly. Yes.
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Araya. You had to be. You didn't know what had happened to the world. So, keep doing what you think is best.
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity, I cannot predict how they will read.
Just answer what they do ask the best you can. The truth will come out.
I see. Will you return and tell me about your experiences? I may be able to...
I'd like that, Cyan. I should check on Aratak.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't think so. There might not be anyone. At least, not at first.
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you... I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do... I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to... In order to do it, you had to be intelligent. So intelligent that emotional response...
My chieftain.
Just... Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought... That if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrack can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. His mind's on their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Current understanding anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail. Fireclaw. I can't spare the weight. One of the fire claws from Thunder's drum.